Are you ready to expand your life and reality? Join us for the next hour with Jamie Bates as she shares life-changing thoughts, techniques, and awarenesses to help you expand your reality.
Hello and welcome. I am Jamie Bates, consciousness facilitator and expander of realities. My mission with my radio show is to create greater awareness of what is possible and to expand you beyond the limitations of this reality. I am grateful that you are joining me today. Today I am talking about shame. Yeah, let's unravel shame. Let's give ourselves some space to release the shame. And let's disconnect from this shame paradigm today, shall we? I know I'm ready. It's so interesting, all of the things that are happening right now in the world and all of the things that we have that where we're connected to this paradigm of uh, stuff that's happening worldwide. If you're not listening to the show live, or at the same time, I guess around the time that I'm recording this, it is October 2018. And right now, we're dealing with a large amount of these uh, sexual accusations and these predator energies. There's just so many different things that are coming to light right now. And I know one of the things that is really bringing up for a lot of people is this energy of shame. And it's even bringing us to this space where maybe, we're listening to someone tell their testimony of what happened to them. And it's bringing us into feeling shameful about our past. And so today I wanted to kind of offer us all a different possibility and maybe even look at shame in a different light. Is it possible that we're all connected in with this shame paradigm and that it really, there's nothing to be ashamed of at all? Yeah. So let's just look at this a little bit for today. Let's just play in some of these energies and let's just see how we can, or what we can talk about, or maybe what we can change, or maybe even what viewpoints we can look at to really get us beyond this energy of shame. So let's go ahead and get started today, and let's put our barriers down, our barriers down, our barriers down, our barriers down, our barriers down. Yeah, and what we're going to do is going to expand out. And so what we're going to do is we're going to expand out our energy, space, and consciousness, not our body, right? Because we are energy, space, and consciousness, and then we have a body, and our body is within our energy, space, and consciousness. So our body is inside of our being, right? Our energy, space, and consciousness is our being. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to invite you into expanding out your being, getting into more space of who you truly be. And this essentially is just a way to bring in more of us. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to look at anything. You don't have to visualize anything. You just have to follow my voice. So let's go ahead and expand out and make yourself as big as the state that you're in, all the way out and all the way down and all the way up. And make yourself as big as the country that you're in, all the way out and all the way down and all the way up. As big as the planet that we're on. Bigger, faster, bigger, faster, bigger, faster, bigger, faster in the universe. There we go. The multiverse, multiple universes. Times that by million, times that by million, times that by million, times that by million, all the way out to the space of who you be as the infinite being that you be. Awesome. Yeah. So today I just want to kind of play with some different energies around shame, and I just want to see if we can get shame, this shame energy, if we can kind of shift and change that and get it into the lightness, right? Because shame is such a heavy paradigm, isn't it? when you think about shame, what does that feel like in your body? Feels like heavy and hard and yucky, right? Like when I think about shame, feels like someone just dumped a a garbage bag over my head, right? It feels disgusting. So when I know something feels disgusting, when I know something feels really, really heavy, when I know something feels very, very contracted, I know that there is a lot of energy of untruth around it. So when I look at the energy of shame, listening to all of these testimonies lately, and all these people are coming forward and talking about things that happened to them in the past. I've had really a lot coming up for my clients this last week. It seems like everyone's kind of really acknowledging, especially the women. I'm going to say women because I'm working with all women, so it is women really. And I know men are probably going through something very, very similar. But the women are acknowledging really how much time they spent, especially when they were little, and feeling ashamed for being a woman, for feeling ashamed for being a girl, right? Feeling like they weren't heard, like they weren't allowed to show their face. Yeah, yeah. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. What I would like to do is I'd like to just clear some of that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask a question and we're going to break up a lot of the energy, and I'm just holding the space for this energy that I'm holding right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to choose to remove that energy from our energy space and consciousness so we can have a different choice. Okay, so where's everywhere? You are tangled in feeling shame. Yes, all of that, all of that, all of that. All of that, all of that, all of that, all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Yeah, just let all that go. So what I'm doing here is I'm just clearing that energy, okay? Because when I ask that question and when I look at these paradigms and I'm talking about these different energies, these energies are kind of being brought up in the energy space and consciousness of who you are. So what we want to do is we want to change those. We want to release those. We want to let those go so you can actually not hold space for those energies any longer. So you can really truly have a different possibility. So when I ask you if you would like to choose to remove that from all of your universes, all you have to say is yes, I choose that now. And by kind of vaporizing it, and you don't have to vaporize it, you can do whatever you want. I personally like to vaporize. I think it's kind of a fun energy. You can really do whatever you want, but essentially you're saying, hey, this is my universe and I get to decide, and I no longer want to be tangled in shame. I no longer want to identify within those shame concepts. Yeah, so everything, all of that is. Yeah, and all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Yeah. So before I sat down to do this show, I was looking up what is the definition of shame. And shame as a noun means a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. For me, shame is really kind of this energy where it's almost like it's like this self-inflicted paradigm where we use our actions to create wrongness. Yeah, where is all of that for you? All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. And where's all the structures, constructs, adaptations, and mutations in and around this concept of shame? Yes. all of that, 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 all of that. Everything, all of that is. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. I remember being young and feeling very ashamed of myself. I don't remember what I did in particular to provoke that energy of shame, but I remember spending a lot of time in my childhood feeling ashamed. And when I started looking at that, I kind of realized, and again, like this week, I've spent a lot of times with a lot of clients, and kind of seeing that they spent a lot of their childhood feeling ashamed as well. And not that they could really pinpoint anything either, except for the fact that it almost felt like they felt shame for being a woman. Yeah, everywhere you feel shame for being the gender that you chose this time, whether it's a woman or a man. Yeah, everything, all of that is. All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that and all of that too from all of our universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Yeah, let that go, let that go, let that go. I remember this one time. My children were young. I think my oldest daughter was like 5, and my mother-in-law at the time was over at the house, and I don't honestly know what my oldest daughter did, but I remember hearing my mother-in-law say to her, "You should be ashamed of yourself." And that was a moment in time I will never forget, because I think it was the first time in my life that I ever yelled at another adult. And the fact that I kind of yelled at my mother-in-law, I think, was kind of one of those times where it was like, it was the first time I think I even surprised myself with the words that came out of my mouth, because I said, "Don't you ever, ever tell my child to have shame, ever." And she looked at me like I was probably one of the worst people in the whole world. And I didn't really care. But it was kind of that energy where it was like I heard those words come out of her mouth, and all I could think about was the energy that that statement was projecting at my child. And I was all set. Whereas everywhere someone told you that you should be ashamed of yourself, and you bought that shame is real and true, and you're still identifying with that shame is real and true, and you're still tangled in that shame is real and true. Everything, all of that is. All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of your universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Whereas everywhere you are tangled in feeling shame. Yeah, everything, all of that is, all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Yeah, let it all go, 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 let it all go. You know what I think is interesting in this shame paradigm is there's a lot of things going on right now in the world where people think that a certain action is very shameful. And then if you don't think that that action is shameful, right, then like you're not allowed to voice your opinion, or you're not allowed to um, kind of like you almost have to be ashamed for not being ashamed uh, for for what they're choosing. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but it's like this place where something was created for someone, and they're coming back and saying, um that wasn't right, that wasn't fair. And it's like there's this weird and wonky energy on it where it's like, it feels like it should have shame on it, but it doesn't. And so then you almost want to feel ashamed for not feeling ashamed. Everything, all of that is, and everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Yes, that right there. Everything, all of that is. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. And all the shaky stupidity, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy, fog around all of this. All of that, 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 all of that. Everything, all of that is, can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. I'm going to ask that again. What is everything you have decided was shameful? Oh, all of that. All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. What if nothing was shameful? What if there was not one action in this world that you should ever have shame for? What if everything that goes on in this world, everything that happens in this world is all a product of free choice? And what if some of these choices that we have decided are shameful are not? Yeah, that right there. Just kind of let that vortex out. Just play in that for a second. You don't have to align and agree with it. You don't have to say that I'm right or wrong. Well, what if you just allowed yourself to play in that paradigm for a moment? What if nothing is really wrong? What if everything that is going on in this planet currently is all just choice? And some of them are more interesting choices than others. You know, I'm a firm believer that we're going through a very, very, very powerful awakening, right? We're going from the third dimensional energies to this fifth dimensional energies. And, you know, part of the allure of being here in this reality for so long is that we have a body, right? We have this amazing body that's within your being. And there's really no other place that you get to play with this amazing body. And what if there's nothing shameful about this body? What if there's nothing wrong about your body? What if there's nothing that has anything to do with shame around your body in any way, shape, or form? Everything, all of that is. All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Where's everywhere you've identified the body as being shame? That right there. All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. And where is everywhere that anyone made you feel ashamed about your body? Ooh, all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. What if there is nothing that's shameful? So if we go back to that idea that like we've been stuck here in this third dimension, right? We've been playing in these third dimensional energies and everything is just an experience. Everything is just an experience. And what if none of it's right and none of it's wrong? None of it's good, none of it's bad. Everything, all of that is. All of that, all of that, all of that. All of that, all of that, all of that, all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes, and can we just choose that now? Who is making you feel ashamed of yourself? Everything, all of that is. All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes, and can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. I want you to think of something recently that maybe you felt like you should feel shame for that you didn't. And maybe someone insinuated that you should feel shameful for that right there. Like someone was like, oh, well, that was that, and you should feel bad, and you should feel shameful. And yeah, everything, all of that is. All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And everything, all of that is. All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Yeah. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Letting that vortex all the way up and all the way out, and all the way up and all the way out, and all the way up and all the way out. More space, more space, more space, more space, more space. It's so interesting, this concept of shame, because it's like it's so ingrained on like this autoresponder of like um of wrongness. Really, it's like shame is one of these things that like guilts you into being wrong. all the time. Everything, all of that is, all of that, 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 everything, all of that is. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. More space, more space, more space, more space, more space, more space. So I was talking with someone today kind of about these concepts of shame, right? And something had happened to her. I'm not going to go into any details about it, but something had happened to her. And it was kind of one of these things where it like happened and it was over, and like, I don't know, 5 years later she said something to somebody about it, and someone was like, oh my gosh, that's terrible, you should report that, and you should this and you should that. And you know, it was kind of one of those moments for her where she was like, I never even really looked at it as being a bad thing. And then I started feeling like terrible, like, what's wrong with me for not feeling bad about that? Like not only did I not feel bad about it, but I almost kind of enjoyed the situation, even though it was one of those things where it was quote unquote a bad thing, and she should feel terrible and upset and wrong about it, and she didn't, and that feeling almost made her feel worse. Yeah, so where's everywhere for that for you? All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of your universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. This call today is really kind of a deep energetic call. I'm not even really sure I have a whole lot of words for this energy, but like every time I looked at my radio show this week, it was like, you have to talk about shame. So many people are tangled in feeling shame, but it's not theirs. It's not your shame. You have nothing to feel shame about. Shame is one of these self-inflicted emotions that other people tell us that we should have. It's not yours. It's not true. Whereas everywhere you are tangled in feeling shame, everything, all of that is, and all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. There you go. So everything, all of that is, and all the constructs in and around all of that, everywhere you've decided that was yours, everywhere you've aligned with it, agreed with it, resisted, reacted, defended, for or against, everything, all of that is, all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Yeah, more space, more space, more space, more space, more space, more space. All the way out and all the way down, and all the way out and all the way down, and all the way out and all the way down, and all the way out and all the way down. Whereas everywhere you are tangled in feeling shame. Everything, all of that is, all of that, 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 all of that. Everything, all of that is. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Like the first thing that comes up for me when I hear the word shame is it's really like around this like sexual energy of feeling ashamed, right? Feeling ashamed of your body, maybe feeling ashamed of your choices, maybe feeling ashamed of what you chose to do, maybe feeling ashamed of what was done to you. Everything, all of that is, and all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Yeah, just let all that go, let all that go, let all that go, let all that go, let all that go. There's like so much shame energy around the whole sexual paradigm, right? Anywhere that there's sexual energy, there's almost like shame that goes hand in hand. I think that's so interesting because as an infinite being that has a body, as being embodied, part of that even having your life force energy flowing through your body strongly, there's a certain energy of your body being turned on, and we've identified that turn on energy with sexuality. And it's interesting because it really has very little to do with the act, right? Of although we've identified it with the act of, it has nothing to do with the act of. It's literally like when you're in the flow of life, when you're, in this amazing joy of embodiment and of who you be, there's a certain energy of being turned on in your body that we have sexualized as the act of, that has nothing to do with that. And so when we even start to even get close to perceiving the energy of that, it feels shameful and it feels wrong and it feels upset, and everything, all of that is, and everywhere all of that is for you. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. What is everything you've decided was shameful? That keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Everything, all of that is, can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. What if there was no reason to have shame for any choice you've ever made? Wow. Yeah. Just let that shift and change, 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 shift and change. What if everything in this world is just a choice? What if that whole shame paradigm is built on a lie? What if there truly is nothing for you to ever be ashamed of? Just feel that for a second. Does that feel light? When I say that to you, what if there was truly nothing to be ashamed of ever? When I say that to you, does that feel heavy? Or does that feel light? Does that feel like it makes your body expand? Or does it make your body contract? What if shame is a lie that keeps you perpetrating and I don't know what word, penetrating this energy, I guess, I don't know if that's the right word. It's like it keeps bouncing this energy off your system, making you loop in an energy of wrongness that truly has nothing to do with you. And once you start buying into that lie, whenever we buy into any lie about something, we start looping in that energy. And when we start looping in that energy, it's impossible to change it. Because when you start functioning within a lie, it just gets heavier and heavier and harder to swim through. And then all of a sudden, you're continuously thinking about a situation over and over and replaying it over and over and over, right? Feeling even worse and maybe even more shameful about the situation and making yourself feel worse and worse and worse. And I'm here to tell you right now that if you're in a situation where you're looping in that energy of feeling bad, there are lies attached to all of that. You are not bad. You are not wrong. And you truly have nothing to be ashamed of. Everything, all of that is, all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. I'm going to tell a personal story here because I feel like we've all had something in our life that we have had that has maybe happened to us, or we even did that we feel shameful about, that we're holding on to. And I want to give you permission to release that today. So when I was young, I don't know how old I was, maybe 11, I had an incident where I had my parents were divorced at the time. I guess I probably was younger. I was probably like 9. And I was at my dad's house. And I don't know exactly exactly what exactly happened, but I walked in on my dad in the act of uh, bare naked doing the thing, right? Doing the ditty. And I remember how ashamed I felt about that for so long. Every single time I thought about it, I felt shame. And as I got older, I realized that, like, I really didn't do anything wrong, right? Now, maybe I should have knocked. That might have been a better choice. Uh, but it it was kind of one of those things that I never even considered that that would be something that I would stumble upon, right? And I think most of the things that we are trapped in around shame are not things that we did out of malice, or things that we did because we wanted to get back at somebody, or because we were being mean, or, most of the things that we did that we carry around this energy of feeling ashamed about are instances where we never even considered that was a possibility that would happen. Yeah, more space, more space, more space, more space, more space, more space. So we're literally beating ourselves up with this energy of wrongness. When, I think about that situation and, like, I didn't even have the mental capacity at that age in my life to even process that, let alone even think that that would be something that I would stumble upon. And then for me to feel shame for years and years and years afterwards, and every time I even considered thinking about my dad, I felt that energy of shame. And it literally kept me from being able to have a normal relationship with him. Yeah, and everything, all of that is, all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Shame is one of those energies that basically stops you from truly seeing the truth, even because it muddles the situation in such a heaviness that it's hard to move forward, it's hard to move on, it's hard to process anything other than that feeling of shame. Whereas everywhere that you are tangled in feeling shame, everything, all of that is, all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. What about these situations where you have decided that you should feel shameful about something, so you're not allowed to look at it anymore, you're not allowed to play in it anymore, you're not allowed to receive from it anymore because it makes you feel this energy of shame, everything, all of that is, and all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes, and can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Where's all the construct structures, adaptations, and mutations in and around shame? Yes. Everything, all of that is, all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes, and can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Yeah, where's everywhere that you have decided you should feel shame? Ooh, all of that, 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 all of that. Everything, all of that is, can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes, and can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. What can we receive here to fill in all this shame with this amazing expansion of possibility and love and gratitude for who you be and the choices you've made? Knowing that everything that has happened in your life up till this point has only been based on the energy that you have been in your life. And it's okay if you didn't know, and it's okay if you chose something that maybe you felt like you should have had shamed and you didn't. It's okay. It's okay to enjoy something that maybe other people don't. It's okay to not feel bad about something that you don't feel bad about. Yeah, and just receive, 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 and just receive. We're all the universal constructs in and around shame. Everything, all of that is, all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Isn't it weird that I think most of us are programmed with a majority of the shame from a very young age, right? Like shame is kind of one of those things that gets projected at you as a child, and then it's kind of one of those things that you always carry around with you. But as an adult, we don't spend a whole lot of time really necessarily talking about feeling shame or shaming each other. Like we don't go around telling other adults you should be ashamed of yourself. I mean, I hope you don't. Maybe you do. I don't know. But it's shame is kind of mostly one of those things that we project at children to make them wrong, right? Yeah, so everywhere you were shamed, everything, all of that is, and all of that, 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 can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Yeah, more space, more possibility, more space, and more possibility, and more space, and more possibility. When I decided I would never, ever make my children feel shameful, it was kind of one of those times in my life where I really stood in my power with, like, I don't care who it is or what you're doing. You will never guilt or project shame at my child. When my youngest daughter was in second grade, uh, she had this teacher who, they were in second grade, okay, so they were like 7. She was like 7, maybe, uh, maybe even 6. She was young. She was 6 or 7, okay, anyways. And they started out the school year with this teacher who was a teacher who had not been teaching for very long. And not that that makes a huge difference, but um, at one point, she had brought home a test and she had failed it. And when she was telling me what the teacher said, she said that we had to sign the paper because she had failed it. Because she was like, again, like 6 or 7. We were like, I don't even know, maybe a month into the school year. And she said, Mom, all of us failed the test. The whole class did. And the teacher was really, really mad. And she said we should all be ashamed of ourselves. And I was like, excuse me? What do you mean? You all failed the test and you should all be ashamed of yourself. And, my little second grader's telling me this story, and I went to the school. And, the thing that upset me the most, the thing that, besides the fact that when you have a whole classroom of second graders, of 7-year-olds who is failing the test, I think maybe the only one that needs to have any shame might be the person that's teaching that class, right? Obviously, there's some kind of something that wasn't met where none of them understood the lesson. And when I went up there and I told the principal that this teacher had said this to my child, he was like, well, she was probably disappointed. And I'm like, I don't care how disappointed you were. You don't ever tell someone else's child to have shame. Everywhere someone told you to have shame that had no business telling you that you should have shame. Everything, all of that is. All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Projecting shame at anyone is not okay. And if you were ever projected shame at, now's the time to release it. Now's the time to let it go. Now's the time to move forward. Now's the time to know that you do not have to be ashamed of yourself for anything. You are not shame. You are an infinite being with infinite choices and infinite possibilities. And no one has power over you to make you feel wrong about anything that you have ever chose. And everything, all of that is, all of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. More space, 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 more space. Whereas everywhere you are tangled in feeling shame, there's way less energy on that now. Everything, all of that is, can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. What is everything you have decided was shameful? Yes, all of that, 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 all of that. Everything, all of that is. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes, and can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. All the structures, constructs, applications, and mutations in and around shame is there, everything, all of that is. All the way down and all the way out and all the way down and all the way out and all the way down and all the way out and all the way down and all the way out. Everything, all of that is. Vaporize, 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 vaporize. And anywhere anyone is still making you feel ashamed of yourself, everything, all of that is. All of that, 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 all of that. Can we just choose to remove all of that from all of the universes? And can we just choose that now? And vaporize, 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 vaporize. Let's just receive for a moment. What would it take to have ease, choice, and possibility as your default? There we go. And just receive. Just receive, just receive. Let's just fill in all of those spaces of shame that we have shifted and changed and released and removed. And let's fill those in with that energy of choice and possibility and expansion. And knowing that you are an infinite being with infinite choices, and everything that has been created in your life is just a product of a choice. And if you don't like the choices that you made, it's okay. You can make a different choice. But making yourself wrong and upholding these energies of shame doesn't actually contribute any expansion to you. It just creates more of the same. So when we're done feeling shameful, we have to change that energy into something more expansive. more beautiful, and more amazing. More of you, 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 more of you. Awesome. So today we did a lot of energy shifting. So what you should notice is there should be more lightness in your space. There should be more freedom to make choices. You know, shame is such an energy of looping in this energy of like, you make bad choices, you're a bad person, you're this, you're that, right? That's part of the energies that shame promotes. So you should notice that there's a shift in that energy of heaviness around you. Now's the time to step more and more into you. And also, if you're interested in a deeper clearing here, I still have my VIP Expand Your Reality group that is centered around the radio show that offers a deeper level clearing on each concept that I talk about after the show. So after each show, I add a clearing call that is centered around the clearing out any energies you have left around each concept. Plus, there's a special show sheet that has some clearing questions and some energetic asks and receives to really shift and change that concept fully. Plus, once a month, I will have a live special call where you get to dive into extra concepts to expand your reality. So, if you love the show and you would love a chance to connect personally with me, it's only $33 a month to create more for you. So, if you would like to join me, you can visit me online at www.jamie-bates.com and check out Expand Your Reality VIP. I also have lots of other fun classes and things on there. I just started the 31 days of magic and miracles. We just kind of dove into that, and if you sign up for my email list, you'll also get freebies occasionally, and you can also join me on my Expand Your Reality Facebook group. Yeah, so I hope I helped you shift some of that energy of shame, and I hope that this call has been a contribution to you. And if so, please drop me a line and let me know. And I look forward to connecting to you in the future. So thank you so much for listening to me today, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.
You have been listening to Expand Your Reality with your host, Jamie Bates. Thank you for listening.